Okay, future engineers. Oh boy, we have got a doozy in front of us, and really the only thing that we are going to be, uh, you know, intentionally teaching in this tutorial is to create these 6 holes on the front face here using our rectangular pattern. But I feel like we're going to learn some new things along the way with this just looking at it. So, in order to stare at this a little bit better, we're going to 3D model it. And I'm going to start by creating almost a staple shape that I'm going to then extrude down. So it's going to be this top shape over here, and I'm going to extrude that down. It's going to look like a U. So we'll start with this top view and go through here. So to make it a little bit easier on us, let's decide what we're going to use for our dimensions. You can see this 2.5 typical. That means that this flange and this flange are 2.5. Then we got 3.5 across here, and then I can offset the whole thing 0.25 and then just fill in the rest. So let's do that. We need 3.5 and 2.5 offset a distance of 2.5 or 0.25. Here we go. We're going to start a 2D sketch on this top face over here. I'm going to rotate it once just so I can keep the perspective. And then I'm going to grab a line out and draw a line across the bottom over here. We're going to have a line going up, and we'll have another line from our origin going up over here. That's the same length as these. All right. Now that we have this, let's throw in those dimensions. From here to here should be 3.5. Then this line from here to here should be 2.5, and these two need to be equal. So we'll go equal on each of those. Now I'm going to take my offset command and move this in a distance of 0.25. There we go. And you can see that we've got these openings up here. So I can take a line tool and draw it straight across, hit X to trim, and remove the top. Didn't have to do it. I could have drawn 2 other lines, but no, let's have fun. So let's hit finish sketch, and then let's extrude this. So we're going to go over here and extrude this up a total height of 2. We're going to go total height of 2. Okay, so let's extrude that up 2. And now we've got this shape. I could go and do that circular pattern right now, but I feel like there's some more benefits that we can do just to learn some cool things on this. So let's start actually with the simplest side. We're going to go over to this side, and let's take a look at what we've got inside of here. On here, we have got a hole that is 94 diameter. That's got to be 0.94. Yeah, that looks like 0.94 through, and that's at a location of 1.31 and 1. So let's add that hole, and then we'll come back and we'll add this chamfer after it. So here we go. We're going to start a 2D sketch over here. We're going to take a circle, draw that out, and then dimension its size and location. Its size is at 0.94, and its location from here to here was 1.31. The height of it was perfectly bisecting this face at 1, and now we've got that whole feature. I can hit finish sketch, extrude, and subtract that through. But we don't want through all. We're just gonna keep it as 2, and we'll select to this face. If you didn't see what I just did, I used the 2 distance to have it terminate at this face. So in order to do that, instead of saying through all, we click on 2 and then select the face that we wanted to extrude to, that being this face right here. And I can hit OK. Now to add in a little bit more fun, we want to chamfer this edge 1 inch. So I'm going to go over to the chamfer, select the distance of 1, and then add that to this right here and hit apply. I like to keep these as separate features whenever I'm modeling, just because it's easier to find it instead of being like, which sketch did I add the chamfer in? It's nicer with some larger, more complex parts, but this will work. All right, now let's go on to this side over here. So back over here, we've got this slot feature right here, and then this rounded feature as well. So let's go ahead and add in the slot first, and then we'll come back. So the slot has a 1.18 across, and then we can tell to a radius of 0.25, and then we've got 0.56 for its location to that far edge. So let's go back into our drawing over here. We're going to start a 2D sketch on this face. And there actually is a slot command. Underneath the rectangle, we've got multiple slot commands. The one that I am going to use is the slot center to center. That's going to allow us to draw out a line right here and then open it up. So now we'll add in some dimensions. From here to the bottom should be a distance of 1. From our first radius to the edge should be 0.56. And then our distance across the slot was 1.18. There we go. Now the radius dimension is 0.25, and we've got the entirety of the slot drawn. That slot command really is helpful. Cool. So now that we have that in place, let's go ahead and add in these radius up here because we're going to extrude all of those at once. It is kind of a weird command. So let's take a look. We might even do a round instead. All right, so we've got radius that are 0.38 and they're 0.38 over here. So we could draw out a rectangle 0.38 and then go to this. I don't really like that. Yeah, we'll do the 0.38 that goes here. And then where is the exact Y location for this? Or I'm sorry, X location. Oh, it just says 1 to the end over here. So yeah, we'll do it in the sketch. That'll be fine. So let's go back over to our drawing. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take a circle and I'm going to draw a circle on this edge right here. And I want this dimension to be a distance or a size of 0.38 times 2 because I've got my diameter on here. Then I'm going to take a line and draw it out like this. There we go. And now I can kind of trim up some of this. So I'm going to take my X command and trim out here. So I just use X on the keyboard to shorten that up. I think it already has a tangent, but I'm going to make sure. Yep, it's got tangent. And now I can dimension from this point here to this edge a distance of 1. So now I have this sketch over here and I've got this shape and you can see that it's fully completed with my construction lines. I want it on the top over here too. We learned previously of the mirror command, so I'm going to use the mirror command. I'm going to choose these as my input geometry, and then for my mirror line, I know that this is in the center, it's at 1 right now, so I can flip that up and I hit apply. Now I'm not entirely done yet because I have to have a line here that fills that in, but I'm just going to take my project geometry tool and steal that top line. Now I can hit finish sketch, extrude, and grab these 3 extrusions and flip them around the other way. I'll do that 2 again. So I'm going to 2 and choose this face right here. I love to use that 2 command because if I change the thickness of this part, it will automatically adapt to the face that I have now changed that thickness to. It's better than just putting in a generic number. So there we go. We now have the rounds and the top face to deal with. What I mean by rounds is going to be these corners over here. I actually have this drawing. It's a little bit more zoomed in. So this, you can see that we have got our radius right here, 0.12. So that's going to be on the inside and outside here. We'll do that, and then we will finish up with this front face. So let's go over here. We're going to grab our fillet and do 0.12 and grab these outside edges and these inside edges. Click OK. And now we can start a 2D sketch on here. And I'm actually going to break it up into 2 sketches just for the purpose of this tutorial. One, I'm going to grab a circle, and that is going to be our large circle that happens to be in the middle. And looking at that, it is 1.5 through, and it's 1.75 to the edge, and I'm going to guess 1 from the bottom. Yep, 1 from the bottom. So we said that it's 1.5. That's right. That's what I said. And now, here we go, 1 from the bottom, and from my outside edge is 1.75. There we go. We can hit finish sketch and extrude. Now, the last thing that we have, if you stuck this long in this video, we can now do the circular pattern to draw these circles, which we could have done with the point command or just by drawing circles. But I'm sorry, I didn't say, I said circular pattern. I meant rectangular pattern. So we're going to go over here to do a 2D sketch, and I am going to draw in a circle this circle, let's find out the information about it. This circle is 0.28 through, and it starts 0.38 from the bottom here and 0.62 from the side here. We then can have this pattern up 0.62 over here and then across a distance that we'll have to do a little math to, but we'll get there. So let's go to my dimension, go over to this. We're going to say that this is 0.62 because it is. And then, wow, that looks larger than what I thought it was. Oh, that's because it's 0.28. Yeah. That would make sense. So it's 0.28. The distance from here to here is 0.62. And our distance from here to here is 0.38. Now, again, we can do our rectangular pattern on this front face, or we can do it in a 3D view. I'm going to elect to do it in a 3D view. So I'm going to hit finish and then extrude and cut this through. I like to do it in a 3D view because then I'm not like clicking on all of them as I hit the extrude command, but that's just me. I choose my rectangular pattern. I'm going to choose this feature right here, and direction, I'm going to choose this edge up here. I now want 3 of these that are spaced out 0.62, and you can see it automatically throws those in. Now I also want it across this edge over here, so I'm going to choose that edge in my direction 2. And this one, for my spacing, I know the entire thing is 3.5. but I know that that's way too far. So I also need to subtract the distance from this edge and from this edge, which is minus 0.62 minus 0.62. So now I've got both of those in place, and I can hit OK. And now I believe that this is entirely done. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Those are through holes. That's all good. That's all good. Yeah, I think that's it. Cool, this might have been my longest tutorial that I've done in this class. It's a whole 12 minutes. Holy cow, thanks for sticking around. Let's go over to our eye properties, physical and update. We should get an area of 30.189 and a volume of 2.701. If you made it here, I'm proud of you. If you didn't make it here, this is an Easter egg of me saying I'm proud of you. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, it does, because you have to do it. But either way, I'm so proud of you. All right. Toodles.